Hello, everyone. Talk Live. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. I am just going to put ourselves up on YouTube. Yes. Just bear with me one moment. Just one moment, people. Hello, welcome to Talk Live. I'm just keying in something here for the YouTube viewer. And we're doing that. And we got that. And we got that. And we confirm and go live here. Yes, we are. Thank you for joining me on Talk Live. Live on IG and YouTube now. What is that? I don't know what that is. Phone. I didn't ask for a phone. I asked for a full cam. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. We are back. Talk Live. We are ready. Thank you for joining me on Talk Live. Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. On the road. Yes, but with further plans in place, implementation in place to get those viewers up, we are, yes, very well satisfied. So how are you doing tonight? How are you doing on this, the third night in a row? Yes, and a very eventful week indeed. Hope your season's greetings are quite great. Happy holidays to you and yours. Happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy and Merry Christmas to you. And if you don't celebrate, happy holiday season's greetings. Yes, indeed. So we are here. Thank you to Duntalk.com, DUNTALK.com. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So, yes, big news in, well, no, I wouldn't say big news. Well, it was eventful news in the manosphere this week, as what has been talked about the most is what is being done on Just Pearly Things. Shout out to Just Pearly Things. She's doing fantastic work. How are you doing there, Emil? How are you? And yeah, thank you for joining me on Talk Live. We're waiting for more that are incoming, and I thank you for joining me. Like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Indeed. So, yes. Let me just get this a little bit further that way. Yes, indeed. So I'm hoodied up tonight. Hope your season's greetings are going well, and we're gonna get into it. So, big news, as I said, in the manosphere, in the red space, and we are now going to talk. I'm going to talk about this lady who's been making the earth shake on YouTube, especially on Black YouTube, and that her name is Brittany Renner. But again, we had talked to her at length on Sunday night. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'll wave to you both. We had talked about Brittany on Sunday night. On Tuesday night. Just with regards to her interview with Just Pearly Things. Just Pearly Things is doing mammoth work in the manosphere, on the YouTube stage. She's at about 800,000 subscribers. She's doing fantastic work. Shout out to Just Pearly Things on a fantastic interview. Even better, even I have to admit, even better than the Godfather himself. She went in, no holds barred, and exposed Ms. Renner for what she was. And we're going to discuss what she is now, in the eyes of men, that she wants, and that is that of a porn star. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that porn stars, once you're considered a porn star, or once you have been a porn star, you're pretty much taboo. You're pretty much off limits to most men, in general, because again, because the amount of men that you've had in your life, you're considered a good time girl. You're considered a call girl, a woman of the moment, and quite simply, yes, a bit of fun, as I always say. And because of that, porn stars are usually relegated. Like you get the like of Mia Khalifa, you get the likes of Lana Rhoades. You're getting what these porn stars usually are women that men would not like to wife unless they're in the industry themselves, and even then they don't tend to wife them themselves. So we are at a stage with Brittany Renner's journey where I mean it's pretty much end game now. It's pretty much at a moment where Brittany has her journey's nearly run its course. I mean, there are the family law proceedings in court where she'll be kept in good nick by her estranged boyfriend, now baby father, Mr. PJ Washington. And, she's going to trade off on her, her exploits as a baller's wife, as a side chick to a lot of entertainers and ballers within Hollywood, and also in Charlotte, where she met up with PJ Washington and now resides. Again, she came from humble beginnings, Earl Springs, Mississippi, and one of the poorest states in the United States Union. And now it's a case where she just as a recap, she didn't want to go back to her former life as a relatively unknown college girl and fitness guru. And she decided to herself that she wanted to head out to Hollywood. She went out to Hollywood and got with such luminaries as Colin Kaepernick, Trey Songz, a few other ballers that need to go nameless. But most importantly, her biggest move was with PJ Washington, the guard, I think guard or forward for the Charlotte Hornets at this time, and they were making plans to marry and to wife up, which I take with a grain of salt, because quite simply it was a case where with that, things weren't as concrete as planned. As Ms. Renner said, they were on the road to finding marriage, to finding to making a union. However, once it was known by PJ that she was pregnant, and once he got the whole facts, he realized that she was not the one to be wifed, and decided to part ways with her and only deal in the courts with child support. And that's where proceedings are right now. And that's where she is at 30 years old with a child, a male child, lo and behold, just to add insult to injury. And she's now fighting for, child support and custody in, family court. So that's where she is now. So, Just Probably Things went into a lengthy interview with Brittany Renner. And basically, got her to tell truths that I don't think wanted to tell. I don't think Kevin Samuels exposed, because he wanted to be nice and fair to her. He didn't actually dig as deep as Pearly Things, but he basically nailed Brittany Renner to a point where her new post on Brittany Renner is can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Let me repeat. Her post of this interview by Just Pearly Things. Now, just as a side point, I think Just Pearly Things would love to have a life of Brittany Renner for a time, but again, with the father and brothers in her life, she would not be there for long. She'd have a 304 / city girl existence for a time, and then she would cut it off. But with Brittany, she went to the nth degree, and as Just Pearly, if you look at Just Pearly Things post and interview with her, it was entitled "You Can't Turn a Hoe into a Housewife." So, and that's where we're at now. Due to the fact that Brittany Renner is considered a hoe, as so easily exposed by not only Just Pearly Things but also mediocre tutorial reviews. Seek out mediocre tutorial reviews in his review of the interview, and also his review of her role as a villain on many Instagram postings, and where she went out at length, where she enjoyed oral sex, she enjoyed having certain amount of men at a time, she enjoyed being the other girl in the other room, being a nuisance to gentlemen who only wish to sleep with her for her good looks, and also for the fact that she tried to be a nuisance for those who were having affairs with her. So, and she had a lengthy black book. But now is the case where Brittany wants to claw things back a bit. She wants to be reformed. She wants to be seen as a mother of a baby boy, and a woman who is although making her mistakes, is still available for access to a high-value man, let alone a baller, let alone an entertainer. She still thinks that she's hot enough to procure one of this gentleman. The only thing that Brittany Renner it hasn't dawned on her yet, but it will in due course, is the fact that once you're considered a lady of the evening, a side chick, a good time girl, a bit of fun, a hoe, as Just Probably Things so eloquently said, the fact of the matter is, just once you're given that rank, that moniker of a hoe, you're basically living a porn star life, in which, as will be proved out. Let me just go to the browser right here. You can see this on YouTube right now. As was pointed out by the great and up and coming Crimson Cure. Shout out to Crimson Cure. She did a live today on the consequences of Brittany Renner's actions, and she put it so succinctly and so well from a male point of view. I think she did, and she literally said, well, in not so many terms, she literally said that you not get due to your actions, due to your activities, due to your book. I remember she did write a book. I believe. Let me see the book. I forgot about the book name. Let me just get that for you here. Her book, yes, indeed, Brittany Renner book. Hold on, Brittany Renner book. Yes, indeed. Judge This Cover. There it is. Just This Cover was the book's name, and because of that that entitled book, where she let people know of her exploits with these ballers, with these entertainers over a 6-7 year span, she's been labeled a hoe. If you're labeled a hoe, you're and a known one, a known side chick. Usually, it's the case where if you're internationally known, you're given the designation of a hoe / porn star. And for porn stars, they don't have how should I say this? Because of their sexual freedoms, their end is not usually the best of things, unless you're in the industry yourself. In that men separate you from the pack. They put you in a box. And the box is that of sexual deviant, sexual, a call girl, a woman of the evening, a bit of fun. And usually you can't get out of that box because no man wants to be with a woman with such a reputation. No man wants to wife a woman of such a reputation because of the fact that if you take her out and you're seen as your girl, and you're seen as a girlfriend to this gentleman, usually there are whispers, there are catcalls, there are lurid looks, and that usually gets under the skin of a man. And I think it was a case where PJ Washington, was read the whole facts, was given to say why PJ Washington of the Charlotte Hornets, her baby father, was literally read the whole facts, was literally told, this is a book she wrote, was literally told of the exploits of her time in Hollywood, and said, you shouldn't wife this girl. You should not wife this girl. By his colleagues, by his family, by his friends, you shouldn't wife her. So when it came time for her to be pregnant, well, PJ Washington just decided to fade into the distance and say, you know what? I'll be there to take care of the child, but otherwise, any sort of marriage plans we did have, they would end. Now, again, PJ Washington is 6 years the junior of Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner's about 20, is 30 now. Is 30 years old now. And PJ Washington is 22. Now, if you don't know who PJ Washington is, let me show you on Talk Live quite quickly. Let me just get you this here. PJ Washington. There we go. American basketball player. There we go. There it is. That's PJ Washington here. If you're seeing on Talk Live, you can see PJ Washington's picture right here for all to see. Yeah, that's PJ. He's a guard for the Charlotte Hornets again, and I believe he was a man that was groomed by Brittany Renner. I mean, she saw him just out of high school. She when he was at Kentucky, she went to live in Kentucky around him. She basically saw him as a future husband. So she moved her whole life around PJ because that was Brittany's goal in life. Brittany's goal was to be a baller's wife. That was it. She wanted to trade off of her, sexual exploits. She wanted to have a podcast. She wanted to be in media because, again, you don't get on on Instagram that long, and you don't write a book unless you wanted a life in media, unless you want a light in the public eye, because she's untalented otherwise. There is no talent to Brittany. Brittany is all she's known for are her looks and how she could trade off of those looks. That's her thing. That's her own claim to fame. She doesn't have a talent. She is who she is. There it is. So we are just waving to some people out there. We are at a point where Brittany needed someone, a male who would take care of her into her later years. And she saw this baller, PJ Washington, 6 years her junior. She said, okay, here's a guy that I can, risk it all for and basically have a child for. But the only thing about it is, as I was saying, her exploits, her sexual exploits when she was living in California, because she moved from Mississippi to California to live to get a baller, to get an entertainer, to get away from her life to get away from her life in Mississippi when she was with her last ordinary guy, a white dude, college when she was in college. She decided to move to Hollywood because she thought her looks would have her trade off to be a baller's wife. And she decided to, go down that dirty road, quite simply, of sexual skullduggery in order to sleep to the top, or as far as she could go. And she found PJ. And PJ, he, as I said, he took her in. He thought that she was a good soul, and but he never read about her past. Once he read about her past, he didn't want to deal with it. So unfortunately, that was that. So now we've come to a point where, Brittany Renner is in court. She has to deal with court proceedings with PJ in terms of child support, because Lord knows he's not paying her alimony. Lord knows he doesn't want anything to do with that. But she was swinging for the fences in that regard. But she's swinging for the fences in the regard of him being a baller. Because if you and please, I would advise you check out the Just Pearly Things interview with Brittany Renner, because she goes in that length where she literally says that because of the child, she would gain certain advantages, certain monetary awards that will allow her to live in a life in which PJ was accustomed. So therefore, so it came to a point. So it goes like this, where if PJ lives a certain lifestyle, her child's supposed to live a certain lifestyle, and as the mother, she would live a certain lifestyle as well. So therefore, as she so eloquently stated, if PJ pulled up in a Ferrari, she needs something comparable in order to keep her child in the life to which she was accustomed. But that was her plan all along. That was her plan from day one. As soon as she left Mississippi, this was her plan. Don't get it twisted. This was her plan from day one. Unfortunately, she thought that she could be that good time girl and still get a guy regardless. But here's the thing. Once you start reading your whole facts, when we get into your background, when we start reading your book, that book closes. That idea, that opportunity, that opportunity, that availability, that option, that gift goes away. Industry themselves, unless they live a life away from, society in which most of their family and friends can remind them of that, that life goes away. So you're left alone and on your lonesome to fend for yourself. But again, she'll be covered in terms of her not only child support payments from PJ, but she has a burgeoning media career where she's going to have she's going to do. And yes, I hope that all is well in your neck of the woods. Let me just check my. I think. Yes, we're good here. Yes, I just wanted to check my Wi-Fi, and we're good. So yeah, so we're going to go into this interview with this podcast with Crimson Cure that was today. And we're going to get into some of the stuff that she had to say regarding Brittany Renner and her future. So stay tuned, and we're going to listen to that right now. Let me just cue it up, and we're going to go with this. And again, I think she, conceptualized it. She basically shortened it. Shortened it to a point where it was succinct and it was available and it was readily available. Again, you have their local colloquialisms as well. But I think she put it down to brass tacks, and she did a wonderful job at it. So let me just let the interview, this part of the interview play. Part of the podcast. Hold on.
Wow, Matrix. Only it's not missing, it's hidden. It's hidden. But anyway, thank you too, Todd. Thank you so much. And thank you for earlier your contributions as well. Thank you so much.
Let me just move this forward just a little bit.
Then he called. That's how she did it. The anvil just come from nowhere. She done lived that acme life. Anyway, I could just keep on going with stuff like that. But what we really gonna talk about though is why the whore can never be the housewife, right? Why the whore will never be the housewife, because that was actually the title of Pearl's video. Can you turn a hoe into a housewife? The answer is no. The answer is absolutely not. There are few exceptions to the rule, but the rule is that doesn't happen. And feminism and the gynocracy and how we live in this society, actually, that's the lie that it tells women, is that you can live this whole lifestyle and then you can then switch it over to become a wife and a mother. Thank you, Top Dog said you would have thought these women would have learned from Superhead. She was 10 years ago. Superhead was more than 10 years ago. But thank you, Top Dog.
Now again, that's one of her heroes. As I was saying on Talk Live on Tuesday night, that Kareen Steffens, aka Superhead, was the blueprint to which Brittany Renner followed to a T. She went to Hollywood. She slept with ballers and entertainers. She wrote a book, and then she is now endeavoring to be a person on social media and podcasting. But again, Kareen Steffens doesn't have a man, nor will she, because she's a known I wouldn't say she's a known side chick. There it is. She's a known side chick, and so it's a life of loneliness in certain regards. Not saying that it's it will automatically happen. There is a small chance, but the rule states that you don't wife hoes. You don't wife call girls. You don't wife good time girls. No. They've chosen that life, and so they shall stay. So that was the blueprint that Brittany Renner followed to a T.
They're not learning the lessons, and that's part of the problem. Because here's the thing: wifehood and motherhood. Let's establish a few things. For women, wifehood and motherhood are the pinnacle of title, status, respect, and legitimacy for a woman. For a woman, wifehood and motherhood is the ultimate, it's the creme de la creme, it's the queen of the hill. I have arrived. I have been validated to the highest point of validation that a woman can receive. Can we get with that?
I can get with that, Crimson Cure, absolutely. So again, this, and a lot of modern women don't get this, but they soon will, because modern women, and this falls against the modern women playbook, because modern women think that they should be a boss chick, and see that as being the pinnacle of womanhood, when in fact, and it's been proven over time and over centuries, that being a wife and mother is the pinnacle of womanhood. That's the title to which all women, most if not all women, want to aspire to, as a wife and mother. No matter how successful you are in the business world, no matter how successful you are in your profession or in your chosen job position, the fact of the matter is women, for the most part, there are certain women who don't wish to have kids, but for the most part, most women to this day and age still want to be a wife and mother. Brittany will only have half of that. Brittany will only have half of that deal because of her exploits. Kareen Steffens will only have half of that deal. And there are a few others that I wish to mention a little later who will only obtain half of that deal because of their, 304/city girl / hoish lifestyle. There it is. Let us continue.
In any society, it don't matter whether it's gynocratic, patriarchal, whatever the case may be, women covet and value, no matter what they say out their mouth, no matter how they act, no matter how obtuse, no matter how whorish, no matter what it is, the title of I'm a wife, I'm a mother, legitimately, like I'm a wife and mother, not a mother without being a wife. I'm a wife and mother. That is a title of honor, validation, respect. It's the top of the top. Hold on for one moment, please.
We're going to fast forward here for a little bit, but she's right. She's absolutely correct. All right, let me just stop that for a second. I mean, just to add as a side, I mean, no matter what, usually for most women, even career women, they list their title, they list their position, but if they're a wife and mother, that is definitely that is definitely within any sort of CV, any sort of website, any sort of LinkedIn level. That's LinkedIn level to a woman. Yes, being a wife and a mother, that's part of the deal. Oh yeah, that's part of the deal. Those are titles to which no woman would dissuade themselves. They'll say, "Oh, I don't want to hide being." No woman would hide being a wife and mother. Never. That's always a part of the title. If you ask a career woman, and most career women out there, they'll always put wife and mother besides their title in the work world, in underemployment. Wife and mother's always there. So even if to most of these most modern women, most modern women are trying to dissuade themselves from that, being a wife and mother, because they see being a housewife is is a bad thing. But that's the pinnacle of womanhood. Why would you say it's a bad thing? Why? Will men shame you for being a wife and mother? Hell no. But women will. Why? It makes no sense. That's one of the crazy ironies of modern womanhood. That they would shame motherhood, they would shame wifehood, but they would claim their career. And if given the choice, they would trade in that career for the title of wife and mother. And being a stay-at-home mom at that. Because they know they have a man who can take care of them that allows them to stay at home. So one of the great ironies of the 21st century. One of the great ironies, and I don't get it. Feminism, the women's movement seem to have relegated womanhood and motherhood as a slight on your character, as a blip on the road to a woman's life. And it makes no sense whatsoever. Continuing.
This is the whole point behind them saying you can't slut shame, trying to remove the stigma of the whore. This is the whole point of society and feminist ideology, trying to remove the stigma of the whore, to make it not have that negative
She's right. That's the job of modern women these days. They want, they don't want, they know how damaging being a hoe is, being a call girl is, being a woman, what sexual liberation is, and being called a good time girl. They know the damage that is in society. So they're trying to rid themselves of that moniker. They're trying to say sexual liberation is good. That every woman should engage in it. But the fact of the matter is you never ask men. If you ask these women if it's liberating, if a man would see it as liberating, and would they want to have a sexually liberal woman, you never ask men. Never ask men. Never ask men. Because men will give you a different story, and they know it. This is totally a gynocratic push. A gynocratic ideal, a womanist feminist ideal, a modern day woman ideal. They want to stop the slut shaming. They want to end the hoism. They want to end 304 city girl lifestyle being admonished and being shamed. They want to end that. In other words, they feel that a man's exploits should be shared by women in terms of their body count. But men never signed up to that. Men never passed on that deal. Men never aren't protesting in the streets. Yes, let's stop the slut shaming. Let's end the idea of hoism. Let's end this idea that women who are sexually liberal are hoes, are good time girls, are, because again, that's part of the modern women playbook. For all those women who want to consider themselves sexually free, to consider themselves 304 girls, city girls, who would, let me repeat that. It's like a used car with a bad engine. Nobody wants to buy that. They may lease it, they may drive it around a bit, but they're not going to put their ownership on it. Hell no! We're not going to put our ownership on it. And hell no, we're not going to put ownership on a woman who has literally wrote a book on the fact that she has been a good time girl. Literally said that she was a bit of fun for a lot of men. We'll never put our cosign on it, ever. Sorry, ladies, not happening.
So no matter how much feminist drivel a woman is fed in this society, the wife and the mother is the coveted position. This is why they talking about you can't judge me and my body count and blah 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 blah. That's why they say all that. Okay? So feminism, as we know, gave birth to the whole thought culture, right? And set up the loose, empowered whore as the alternate path to reach that same level, not only of respect and legitimacy, but they set up the whore path and said that a woman on this path, the thought path, the whore path, can also reach the same level of fulfillment as a woman would reach on the legitimate path of being a wife and a mother. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying there, the pearly things. Just the pearly things. Crimson Cure, I understand what you're saying. I just caught a whiff of the Jazz Club I just picked up today. It is fantastic. Wonderful fragrance. Anyways, I'm sidebarring. Ladies, my girl said it succinctly, and I wanted you to pick up on that. Feminism. Yes, feminism, the women's movement, created a lane whereby hoeing and slut shaming was deemed a bad thing. And sexual liberation was deified. to a point where feminism pushed for women being sexually liberal as men, and as a result, those who are hoes, those who are good-time girls, are allowed the same privileges as a wife and mother. That's the idea behind being sexually liberal, being sexually free. They said, we want what the men want, what the man has, and we're going to make it so that if you're a side chick, if you're a good-time girl, if you're a hoe, you deserve the same benefits of a wife and mother, a virtuous wife and mother. Again, men never signed up for that. No man signs up for that. That's why those ladies are put in that box. A 10-minute misconduct, game misconduct, life misconduct box. Penalty box. If you like your hockey, that is. And they occupy that space. They have their seat. They have their, their water and their such. But everybody in the stadium knows that they are hoes. For the most part. And I'm going to say I will say later on, the one way in which ladies can get out of that box, kind of, sort of. The only one way in which ladies can get out of that box. But other than that, if you're known to be in that box, you're not getting out of that box. If you're known to be a hoe, if you're known to be a... if you're known to have these penalties among you, if you're known to have a long, lengthy hoe facts, you stay in that box. And you don't come out. And we'll have examples for that in just a bit.
We understand what I'm saying so far? They competing. The hoe competing with the wife in terms of who can be fulfilled, who can be validated. Okay? This is why side chicks compete with the wife. Because they think at some point they can replace her. They compete with her because they think that in some way they're better than that woman. Well, if she was all that, he wouldn't be over here with me. Not quite true. Not so fast. I have to get that as a sound bite. Y'all know where that comes from. Anyway. Not so fast. Because men don't actually, it is on very, very rare occasion that a man promote a hoe to a wife. That's actually rare.
There it is. My girl told you. She just said it. Hello, everyone on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. But Crimson Cure, she's that deal. Hell no. Hell no. That's why P.J. Washington, once he got evidence of the book.
And she played herself out of things of that nature. Thank you, Miss Mukasey. Okay? Be fine enough to roll in them circles where be fine enough that they want to be seen with you. Okay? Do that in your late teens.
Then... Once they found a man who fell in love with them and loved them for who they were, as Ms. Crimson Cure so eloquently said, cash out. In other words, become the wife. So instead of being virtuous, they would sleep their way to the top, to a point where a man can't do away with the sex, a man can't do away with the... That's it. If your reputation isn't out there, you're still a hoe, but your reputation isn't out there, a man can't do without you, You hit all the target markets. You are known as a high-value woman, and the only one time, only one occasion where a hoe became a housewife, publicly known as that, is, Kim Kardashian. That's the only one. Only one. But again, she had a nationally televised syndicated show. Yes, it was brought about by hoism, but it was one of those rare occasions where the public, pop culture latched onto it like it was his last dollar. They became world-renowned business people to a point where Kim became a multimillionaire / bordering on billionaire. And only then was Kim made to be a wife. But it's not as if Kim had a lengthy roll call of gentlemen. Yes, she had a sex tape out there. So she could be considered a porn star, but only in this one case, she became a housewife. She got her video out there. She had the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and then she blew up. And then came the different product lines, and then the business investments, and then her family were also rich. That's the one time that actually proved true. 99% of the time, that doesn't happen. Not if you're known porn star / hoe. But it's nice, again, let's call her a porn star. But in this case, yes, she's a porn star. And although she wasn't filmed, her exploits are out there. And the fact of the matter is, Kim Kardashian is not exactly black. Yes, that's the elephant in the room. Black. She's not African American. Or part African American, because I think she's mixed race. Brittany Renner. But the fact of the matter is, she was. And if you think American is going to reward any 1/18th woman or any black woman for her hoish ways, you have another thing coming. Another thing coming. That only happens in certain circles. That only happens once in a blue moon. The odds are 8 billion to 1 that happens. 8 billion to 1. Yes, 8 billion being the population of Earth. 8 billion to 1. That one, Kim Kardashian. Everybody else? No. You're in that box. If you're known, you're in that box. You're not getting out of there. So, remember that.
Okay? So now, what's going on with it is this. They set that up as a rival to the wife. This is what feminism told women. It said, listen, going about that courting and marriage and letting your daddy vet the man and help you choose a husband, all of that is old and dead and stinking, okay? That is all antiquated. Not only is it antiquated, it is patriarchal. It is a patriarchal style that is meant to stifle a woman's sexuality and her freedom of choosing a mate and reproductive choice. That is what feminism said. I'm going to repeat that. Thank you, Child of Life, and don't forget Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman.
Yes, please do.
Exception to the rule. This is a whole streetwalker. And some wealthy, high-value man came from on high to deal with a streetwalker. Now, the problem with that premise is a couple of things. First of all, a man that was supposed to be of his rank and stature was never supposed to even deal with a prostitute anyway, because he was supposed to have so many women to choose from that it make his head spin, make her head hurt. So he don't have no reason to go around no street walking and be seen in that kind of environment to begin with. The women are numerous. They literally are crawling all over him. Okay?
Perfect. There it is. You know, Pretty Woman, the Julia Roberts, Richard Gere film from way back when in 1990. Don't ask me how I know all these things. A bit of pop culture for you. Pretty Woman was a movie for a reason. That does not happen in real life, where a call girl becomes a high-value man's wife. And note the characters within that subject matter. Not to say it doesn't happen, but they're very rare. It's not happening once every other day. It doesn't happen like that. Not if you are a known prostitute, if you are a known good time girl, if you're a known bit of fun. It is rare you get a story like Pretty Woman out there. You don't. Usually men. And the reason why is, as Crimson Cure so eloquently said, is because these gentlemen have women swimming around them who are younger, cuter, don't have the body counts. Again, I repeat, high-value men don't have to deal with pretty women. High-value men don't have to deal with the likes of Brittany Renner. They don't. They don't have to deal with the likes of a Brittany Renner. So, for Brittany Renner to think that she could be the exception to the rule, she's got another thing coming. A whole other thing coming.
They own him at work. They own him socially. They own him in his leisure time. They own him in it. He can't go nowhere without studying. How you doing? You know, skinning and grinning, trying to get his attention. That's the first false thing in that movie. Thank you, Chris the Rebel. So me and make fun of men who married 304s, especially she well known in the streets. A man can't handle everyone knowing his wife is 304. Exactly. That's why they were clowning P.J. Washington about Brittany Renner. They clown him about her. We're going to get back to that. The second part that was wrong with Pretty Woman is that it sold the dream to women that they could actually live as whores and that a man would somehow come along and see the value of how wonderful she is and he would take her and save her from a life according to the life she chooses. That man wanna walk the street. Don't no man of that stature want no woman doing that. Because one of the first things he want to know is who you been with. Because I'm not gonna take you around no colleague. I'm not gonna introduce you around the network. I'm not gonna tell nobody. Because you will never have me around here looking stupid. Because you a whole streetwalker and half the men in the firm done been with you. And I done brought you in there talking about you my woman. You ain't gonna do me. You're not gonna do me, not the kid. Thank you, Samuel Jenkins. That this mindset perpetuates the destruction of the black family. Exactly. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you.
Again, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Again, Pretty Woman is part of the modern woman's required viewing. Part of the feminists' required viewing. That a woman's past shouldn't dictate her future. That a woman can be sexually liberal and still get the man of her dreams. Part of the modern womanist, feminist, idealistic required viewing. The problem is as is seen in everyday life, men never signed up for that. If you know, if you had gone back then to those box office reviews, it was basically a woman's movie. It was a romantic comedy, and men don't go to romantic comedies really unless they're dragged by their wives and girlfriends. We're not lining up to see Pretty Woman. We're lining up to see, back then, Die Hard, but not Pretty Woman. That's a whole other thing. And again, that is part of the feminist Wonder Woman playbook. That your past should not dictate your future. But oh no, if you are known in many circles, and we get that Hofax on you, away you shall be, into the box for an indeterminate period. Sorry. Let me just go a little further here.
Intend to do overtime. We're gonna try to get this in, pack a mean punch. So after these messages,
Let me go a little further back here. Let's see if this works here. Yes. I think it's 38.
The lie in all of this is that women can free themselves from the enslavement of one master, which is her husband. She can free herself from the enslavement of her master, i.e. her husband, because it convinced women that being a wife in a traditional marriage is slavery and her husband is a slave master. Okay?
Remember that, ladies and gentlemen? That is Feminism 101. That is part of the admonishment of wives and mothers by career women. That is play one in that playbook. Name and shame wives, stay-at-home wives and mothers. Let them know that their duties as a wife and a mother pale in comparison to your career. Pale in comparison. And if you believe that, so be it. But here's the thing. Men never signed up for that. The patriarchy, the terrible patriarchy never signed up for that. We deem wives and mothers in the highest regard. So much so, we will bestow upon them protection and provision. And many others that will come to light in just a second. But mainly protection and provision. Because we deem wives and mothers one of the highest positions a woman, if not the highest position a woman can have. Feminists don't believe it, though. Modern women don't believe it, though. But again, they're not modern men. They're not men, period. Past or present. They're not men in these circles that advocate for that. And if they are, they're a very distinct minority. You can probably count them on one hand in a room. Remember that. Remember that, modern women.
The truth about it that feminism never says is that they didn't, but the truth that they didn't tell was that she would be the slave of many men instead of the wife of one. She would be the slave of many men rather than the wife of one. Okay? When you have sculpture. Or let's say you got a person throwing pottery. How many people sit at that wheel and throw that one piece of pottery? How many people do that? How many people?
Oh, I'm just gonna speed it up here for a little bit. But again, it's a good analogy, but I think we're just gonna speed it up just a little bit here.
Is when she realizes that she can't come away from the transaction to get to the love. She can't do it. Okay? That is the reality of the wall. When she comes to the point in her life where it becomes crystal clear to her that she will never cross that threshold. That she's so far gone that it's not possible. Even if somebody put a ring on her finger, she'll never be a wife. Do you understand what I mean? Even if somebody put a ring on her finger, she can't be a wife. You understand? I don't think she ever technically married PJ, did she? Did she marry him, or did they just exclusively quote unquote date for a while?
She never married, and I'll stop it here for a second. No, you're right. I know a few women in my life like this. Actually, the one woman who I detest, absolutely detest in my life, the one person in my life that I absolutely detest, and she will go nameless, was one of these women. Was a good time girl, a pass around girl, a bit of fun. But the fact of the matter was, this woman, she played close to home. She got who she wanted, yes, but the fact of the matter is, she was never considered a wife. Never considered a wife. At all. Not in public, not in private. She was never considered a wife. As many trappings as she had, that moniker, that designation stuck. To this day. To the last time when I saw this woman is, and I quote, "Look at this fat whore." Let me repeat that. I saw her one day, I hadn't seen her in years. She had done her duty. She had the name. She tried to shake it down because she was a Miss So-and-so. But yet, I had the opportunity to walk in. This is from my own life here, being a bit candid. I had the opportunity to walk in on one of these ladies and literally, because again, she had put on about 60, 70 pounds. But yet, I never forgot that she was a whore. Actually, she is that designation to this day. I'm not going to divulge who that person is, but she is still that designation to this day. Not only to myself, but to the family at large and to the public to whom knows her. And I literally sat there and said, look at this fat whore. Because she can't shake that. Because that was her life. And that will be Brittany's life. No matter how much notoriety she gets, how much podcast she does, no matter how many things. I mean, even Kim couldn't escape. Even Kim Kardashian couldn't escape it. As much as she accrues in her career, the fact of the matter is she got there through a sex tape. Kim Kardashian got there through a sex tape. Her family rose to well, actually, her family helped her through that sex tape. Her mother actually co-signed the sex tape, if you go into pop culture. Co-signed the sex tape. Wanted it to get out there so that her daughter can get notoriety. Now, that's a bit sinister for her mother to back her daughter being a hoe so that the whole family can be rich and famous. But she did it, and, you know, despite the fact that she tries to dissuade herself, you saw it the other day when Kim Kardashian herself was dealing with her son, Saint. Saint came to her and said, "Look, mommy, there's this video about you." Actually, let me see if I can find that here. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see if I can help you out here on Talk Talk Live. Thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Yes, I'm going to do Kardashian and son finding sex tape. Yes. I think this is widely available. There you go. Let me see here. Here we go. Yes. Kim calls Kanye in tears after Saint sees sex tape ad. So here's the thing, ladies, that you fail to remember, that can't be forgotten about the internet. Once it's out there, it stays there. And no matter how hard you try in order to rub out the reputation, sooner or later it'll come back to you in ways you never thought, in front of people you never wanted to see tape. See, that is what will visit Brittany Renner's son in future.
Now to Kim Kardashian, who's threatening to wage her own legal war over an alleged second sex tape with Ray J.
It's not okay, though. It's not.
The first episode of the Kardashians' new Hulu show was packed with tears as Kim panicked after her 6-year-old son, Saint, somehow stumbled across an online ad claiming there was unreleased footage from her 2003 sex tape with Ray J. An emotional Kim actually called her ex Kanye on this one.
Over my dead body is gonna happen to me again. I just want it gone. This is not gonna with me.
She also immediately got on the horn with her lawyer, legal wrecking ball Marty Singer, and she's pulling no punches.
I have all the time, all the money, and all of the resources to burn them all to ground.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
There you go. This is for one of those the 1 in 8 billion people. The 1 in 8 billion. That's what Kim Kardashian is. She was a hoe who turned herself into the housewife, the known one. And yet, despite all of that, there's this. You can see it here on Talk Live. On YouTube. Her son found Kim in compromising positions on the internet. The internet is undefeated. Once your reputation is sullied and it's out there, oh, it can be lost and found. And despite all, and as Kim said herself, despite all of her money, despite all of her high-priced legal help, it'll never go away. Know how many millions Kim spent in order to suppress those images, that sex tape? How many millions of dollars this woman spent in legal help, spent in PR agencies, spent in investigation firms in order to get rid of that tape or any evidence of it. But remember, it built an empire. That was the foundation to an empire. And despite the fact that, yes, Kim was one of that 8 billion who was a known porn star, and yet rose above it, the fact of the matter is her son couldn't avoid it. Her son got to witness it. Her worst nightmares came true to a point where she literally called her ex and said, you know what, Kanye? Oh, this was seen. What am I to do? Now she needs a man's protection. Now she needs a man's help. Now she needs Kanye. That's how bad it got. And that was the risk that Kanye took. But these are the consequences. So, that's for Kim. Now we got to talk about Brittany. That was Kim. Who has millions upon millions, multi-millions upon billions, and yet she still can't escape that. You think Brittany will? You think Brittany will escape her past misgivings? Come on. Come on. That's why I find her akin to a porn star. That's what happens to porn stars. Nobody watches porn stars. The only one that did happen to was Kim Kardashian. 1 in 8 billion. Of well-known porn stars, that is. Let me say that. Unknown porn stars, if you're in the industry, yeah, okay, fine. But known porn stars known around the world who built empires because of it, still 1 in 8 billion. As I said.
Because it's not just a title difference, it's the result of living a different lifestyle. Let me tell you about what a wife do. What a wife receives. Wives get the 4 P's as an entire package. Wives get the 4 P's as an entire package from a single man, from one man. He gives her provision, he gives her problem solving, he gives her protection, he gives her procreation in full to the very best of his individual capability. He gives her all 4 to the best of his ability. There is attachment, there is support, there is love, and there is a connection between herself and her husband. If a wife end up getting pregnant, her husband is excited about it. He expected. He looking forward to it, and he began to make plans for the future surrounding and around the fact that she's about to have this baby, and that a child is now in the picture. As far as he's concerned, as soon as she come to him with that sonogram and that pregnancy test, he ain't gonna try to fix it. You see what I'm saying? She's getting a consistent 4 P's all the time. She ain't gotta worry about where she gonna get the next P from and from who and from how. She ain't worried about all that. She get a full course meal every day. She ain't starving. The whore. The whore is getting 4 P's. I'm not just talking about money and physical things. It is included, but what else does provision say? It said he generates stability in the...
We're going to stop that just right there. And because I just want to speak on this. Crimson Cure is so right. And rarely do people bring this out. I don't think Kevin Samuels brought this out. I don't think Just Pearly Things does brought this out. I don't think many Manosphere people brought this out. But she did. And God love her for it. Shout out to Crimson Cure. Please subscribe. Please like. Go to her channel. She's got some great... of a family that will provide for her in times of need and in times of good. Yeah? So, that's the first thing a wife would get, that Brittany Renner will never get. Never get, because she's now a porn star. She's now a hoe. She's now a good time girl. She's now a woman of the night. She's now a... take your pick. She gets that. Number 2, she gets problem solving. In other words, his ability to think in a linear and analytic fashion to be able to dissect and resolve issues efficiently. His problem solving saves time, minimizes wastes of energy, money, etc. He necessitates order out of confusion and chaos and brings a sense of peace. Yes, women get peace of mind from problem solving. Women get peace of mind from problem solving. Because they know there's a man in their corner who will help them solve problems. And you know what? Typical example. When your car breaks down, who do you call? If there's something wrong in the house, who do you call? If there is a money issue, who do you call? You'll call your boyfriend or you'll call your husband. And more than likely, it's your husband you call. Your husband. Because rest assured, he has your back. And rest assured, problem-solving issues are rectified. Once you're fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. Or if you're with a man for a long time and you got married from the start. That is innate. That is built into the agreement. Number 3, you get protection, including shielding from harm by confronting danger, but also in the form of the very structures he creates or provides that covers in his physical absence or in a hostile environment. This includes rules and guidelines he sets. One thing that not even the pink alternative can offer is protection. First line defense protection. Because when you call the cops, it usually takes them 15, 20 minutes. That means that you could die in that time. So who's the first line of defense? Your man. Your husband. He's the one who asks, go find out what that bump in the night was. Where it be a working man, a middle-class man, an upper-class man, a high-value man, a baller, an entertainer. That's something Brittany will never get. She'll never get protection. She'll have to wait till the cops arrive. Lord knows, thank goodness she lives in a condo, because if she lived in a house or she lived in some sort of... she'd be catching hell. That's what wives get. Wives get protection. Protection. But these modern women will tell you, oh, you're protected by the police. Oh, you know, Don't worry. The police will come and save you. Huh? Oh, don't worry. You know, unless I'm. Well, you're not really equipped to gunplay, are you? No. No. You're not. You're not. So we have to realize that I just found a friend here who's just came to greet me. A guy named, well, I'll leave his name nameless. I don't want to put his name out there, but we've known each other for years. So again, I want to say hello.
Jeez.
So he's here to watch the show, and we're gonna get into it. What's this, Max? Well, till the cops come knocking. Absolutely, yes, indeed, Cano, and you're absolutely right. Till the cops come knocking. Absolutely right. Yeah, but, till the cops come knocking, what, 20 minutes later? 25 minutes? Hold on, just 1 second. Was the cab okay?
They didn't even show up.
They didn't show up?
I took the bus.
Oh, no.
I was sitting there for the longest time waiting. And then
I didn't call the cab. I told them to meet you at the... What is that?
They didn't even show up. And I tried to hook up. But my postal code won't hook up because I'm not from down here.
Yeah, I know, but I thought they'd come and get you there. Oh, my God. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
I made it.
You made it? I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did. Let me just continue this and let me get this over with. So, that's another thing that women won't get this protections. The likes of Brittany Renner will never have protection. So, let me get to the fourth one. The fourth one is procreation. Physical intimacy ranging from affectionate touches and words of sexual intercourse. Any and all expressions of love, care, or support. The creation and raising of his and her children and with his or her values and the culture of his household. She'll never get that. Hey, Emil, how are you? She'll never get that. That's the one thing that Brittany Renner will never, ever have. She'll never have another chance of procreation with, well, she may have another chance of procreation with a man, but he's not exactly going to stay, is he? Nope. No. Unfortunately not. So, we are here at this stage, and and that's what happens to call girls, modern women. Well, I wouldn't say modern women. I would say call girls, city girls, 304s, ladies of the evening, good time girls, a bit of fun. They get this sort. They don't have. They cannot and can't obtain provision, problem solving, protection, procreation at any time. Not without a community's help. And usually community doesn't want to give all this help to one woman. Just saying. But anyway, we're just going to continue here. And we're going to go to her final little stance here. Thank you for joining me on Talk Live. We are live here on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers with more surprises along the way. So I'll put some beers away in the fridge in a minute for my man here. But yes, but we are here. So I'm just gonna let Crimson Cure finish up her podcast here, and it's fantastic. It's brilliant. If you have the chance, please take a look at it, because again, it's a fantastic look at things. It really is. So again, let us continue.
She wasn't good enough. Not only was she not better than PJ, she wasn't good enough for him. That's the part that she never say while she taking accountability all over the place. What she never tell you is that I actually am not good enough.
Let me take it back a little further here.
PJ was tired. Now, but this is what I mean.
Now, let me just start right about here. Let's continue.
When I can pull what she called her So she thought with her transactional mind, oh, I can do another transaction and come out, you know what I'm saying, 10 to get you 20, 20 to get you 40 type of situation. And it backfired spectacularly in her face. See, that is what humbled her. PJ was as high as you were going to get. You should have took it, but you didn't. Now, you're SOL. Thank you, Arcane and Bang. Her arrogance blew bad. Crimson, you are supreme teacher. Thank you so.
Excellent point that you raised there is the fact that, okay, it's time for, at the time of cash out, at the time where you think she would have gone on ahead and, you know, basically become a wife, but that was her plan all along. She wanted to cash out with him. Well, the fact of the matter is her reputation was already written, and men were telling her about it. They were giving her the whole facts. Giving Brittany Renner's whole facts, and it made for sorry reading. Absolutely sorry reading. He said, she has how many bodies on her? She's done what? With whom? She's written what? About the... No man worth his salt is backing that. No man worth his salt. And PJ, as young as he was, because remember, PJ was 6 years. Brittany Renner's Jr. Now, again, he's a grown man. He was 22, and, you know, hey, you signed up. You get what you paid for. You signed up for what you signed up for. And if you lose, you lose. You got to pay the consequences. But the fact of the matter is, the one thing he didn't have to do was make her a wife. He was there. He had to take care of the child. He didn't have to make her a wife. And he didn't. He literally didn't. And that's what made her the porn star. Because men don't want porn stars. And if you went back into Just Pearly Things / Brittany Renner's interview, ex-Brittany Renner's interview, you would see that she literally said there that all the men in her DMs now only want sex from her. They don't want relationships from her. They only want sex. Because that's what she promoted. That's how she rose to the top. She rose to the top through her sexual exploit. So therefore, guess what men want from her? Sex. Sex. That's it. Sex. So, are we surprised? No. Because one thing Brittany Renner did not do is she forgot the part where men don't wife hoes. 99% of the time they don't wife hoes. They don't. At least known hoes, that is. There are those who, you know, I mean, there are certain percentages of men who are, you know, a bit on the simp side and, you know, are a bit desperate and for a wife and, you know, they wife. But it's not as if it's known within a certain area. It's not nationally known. It's not internationally known. No. It's a local thing. So you can get away with it for a certain time, and if a man can tolerate it, a man can tolerate it. But it's not exactly everybody knows that Brittany Renner. Everybody knows she had so hundreds of thousands of followers. Many people have bought her book. She talked about her sexual exploits. She had taken pride in being the villain on Instagram. She had gone on radio shows to let everybody know how much of a hoe she was. Guess what? But she thought she was above all that. But life has a way of showing you where you are if you keep on living. And now we know where she's living. Now she lives right now. But again, let me let you finish up.
This is a cautionary tale. Brittany's life is a cautionary tale for every young lioness that thinks that perhaps it'll turn out differently for her. Lori gonna run into the same thing because Michael B. Jordan was her top. That was the top guy that she was gonna get to even halfway take her seat.
Again, she mentions it there. The next one down the pipe who's following Brittany Renner's path is Lori Harvey. Yes, Lori Harvey. Steve Harvey's stepchild. She is following well in line with what Brittany experienced because she sleeps around with with entertainers and athletes. She's done the same thing. Except she hasn't written a book, but it's known. It's known that she does this. And as Crimson Cure eloquently said, her highest level... let me go back and explain. Brittany's highest level with PJ Anderson was a baller, a mid-level baller. That was her highest level. She tried to marry him, didn't happen. Lori Harvey's highest level was a little bit higher. It was, higher, that being Michael B. Jordan. She should have cashed out then, but no, she thought that she could. Her pee was made of gold rhinestones and platinum, and that it could be exchanged anywhere. Not realizing that she should have cashed out with Michael B. Jordan because Michael B. Jordan, despite all things, had feelings for her, even though the whole facts on Lori Harvey was lengthy. Extremely lengthy. Known and unknown. And the same will happen to, as we'll soon see, Megan Thee Stallion. Even though Megan Thee Stallion is not exactly of the pretty level of a Brittany Renner / Lori Harvey, but still, she had a lengthy, promiscuous past. And now it's come back to haunt her. And guess who's going to wife her? Not really anybody. Not really anybody. She's as good as Lizzo now. One of her friends. She's as good as Lizzo now. Especially in the fact that she hid her whole facts from her boyfriend. Hid it. But hey, there are others. Let me just sum up with this. There are others who fall in this long line, and I'm just going to quickly bring this to light. The first one being this lady right here, Amber Rose. You can see her here on Talk Talk Live. 39 years old, Amber. Very much like Brittany, was only sleeping with ballers and entertainers. And she had the best of them. Again, she was another Kanye X, Wiz Khalifa X, 21 Savage X. But then the line got way too long and her whole facts got out there. Let's just take a look at this, shall we? Amber Rose is an American model and television personality. She first gained attention as she appeared in music videos. Again, she was a video vixen with Young Jeezy, Kanye West. Yes, put on. Yes, indeed. Rose began a high-profile 2-year romantic relationship with West. She was in Louis Vuitton, and then she got signed to a modeling contract with Ford Models. Okay, that lasted for a time. She would attain further prominence when she appeared as a video vixen in other hip-hop music videos. That's where, yes, indeed, Hamel, you have a right to laugh. After splitting with Kanye in 2007, Rose began dating Wiz Khalifa, whom she married in 2013. Yes, she did marry him. Yeah. He bought the farm, and she should have stayed with him, but she thought her pee was greater. So Rose filed for divorce in 2014, thinking that I can get something better than him because I had the best in Kanye. And you know what? In good actuality, she should have tried to stay with Kanye, but even Kanye said no. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Even Kanye said no. Moving on. Following this, she released her first book. She did the book. There you go. How to Be a Bad Bitch. Are you getting the parallels now? Is it starting to come to fruition now? I hope it is. Long line of gentlemen in which she slept with. And remember, she's bi, so it's gentlemen and ladies she slept with. Started dating entertainers, ballers. Married one. Wrote a book about her exploits. 2015, she founded the Los Angeles chapter of Slut Walk Protest March, an annual feminist demonstration founded in where? Toronto? Lord Jesus Christ. Oh, Lord! It was founded in the 6th. No! But again, the 6th is one of the bastions of feminism. Let that be known. That's one of the bastions of feminism. That's where sexual freedoms run wild. Oh my God. Jesus. Rose then hosted her own talk show, The Amber Rose Show, on VH1, debuted in 2016. The same year, she also began hosting syndicated radio call-in program called Love Line. She began trading on her sexual proclivities. Now, she would love to have married a high-value man. She wants to be in a relationship with a high-value man, but high-value men aren't taking her now. She traded herself on her sexual image, on her modern women feminist image. Yes. And now she can't find a man for love nor money. When she should have cashed out on Wiz Khalifa. At the minimum, she said, let me be a wife to Wiz Khalifa. Let me stay here. He took me in. But she divorced him, thinking that, he didn't earn enough. Okay. You got a reprieve for your life, and you decide to throw it away. Throw it away. With that, and now where is she? Where is she? She lies in that box. I was telling you. And Lord help her if she can get out. But if you trade on your sexual experiences, you're known for your slut walk. You're known, I couldn't have said it better myself. You're known for your slut walk. You're known for your how to be a bad bitch. To the streets you will go. And there you shall remain. To the streets you will go, and there you will remain. Nothing more, nothing less. That's one example. One. Do you see the parallels here? Amber Rose, Ms. Brittany Renner. Do you see the parallels between Amber Rose and Brittany Renner? Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Okay. You think I'm lying? Okay. We got another example. Yeah, I got proof. I got receipts. I got receipts. Absolutely have receipts. Let's go to this lady right here. Karine Steffens. The OG of this type of behavior. The OG. The one to whom all these ladies after her are named and shamed. Karine Steffens. Let's read about her life, shall we? Yes, indeed. Karine Steffens, an American author, most notably of the Vixen series of books. She has worked as an actress, as a video vixen, having appeared in more than 20 music videos. In 2007-2008, Steffens visited a number of college campuses to speak about her involvement in the hip-hop industry and its expectations of women. I wonder what experiences she had as a video vixen and her expectations of women. And again, this is an island girl. She was born in St. Thomas Virgin Islands. Hey, remember that. Remember that. Okay? And again, she became an author. The first of 3 books, Confession of the Video Vixen, The Vixen Diaries, and The Vixen Manual, How to Find, Seduce, and Keep Men You Want. She traded on her hoish behavior. She traded on it. Have made all the New York Times bestseller list. Kudos to her. She dedicated the first book to her son, and she donates part of her proceeds to the book Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Oh, well, she's quite magnanimous, isn't she? According to Essence Magazine, Michaela Angela Davis Steffens is reaching people who may have dismissed her earlier protests against rap's misogyny. She was a part of the industry. She was a video vixen. She played the role of the good time girl, of the video vixen. Steffens spoke to young women at colleges about her lesser-known dangers of the entertainment industry. Yes, dangers to which Amber Rose and now Brittany Renner have fallen into. Further on, in July 2012, Drink F Sleep was published, and with Karine Steffens as editor. The book is described to its publishers as an anthology that consists of a series of essays depicting regrettable sexual experiences where the consumption of alcohol was involved, either before, during, or after sex. In February 2013, How to Make Love to a Martian was published. Do you get the pattern here, people? Everything sexually orientated? Everything selling her past misgivings as a video vixen? As a quote-unquote whore, as a good time girl, as a lady of the video? Steffens published Vindicated in 2015, Confessions of a Video Vixen 10 years later, with a foreword from King Magazine founder Dalton Thomas. Speaking about the legacy of her output, Steffens said, I realized recently that I'm surrounded by young women who have never had a sexual revolution, so I became almost this Joan of Arc. She reveled. See the feminism arc to this? She sees herself as being the woman who used her sexual position to get ahead in life. The only thing about it is she thought that position would get her a man. To this day, she hasn't been married. To this day, never been married. Let me verify that. Oh, she was married to Darius McCrary for 2 years. 2 years. And then it was dead and gone because she couldn't pair bond. She's had so many men in her life. The same thing with Amber Rose. The same thing with... That's the one thing that we're forgetting here is that ladies such as these can't pair bond because they've had so many D's in their life. So many. That one man had this and one had that about them. The one had... They can't pair bond. I mean, they can't find a man that suits all of their needs. Because there have been so many men in their lives. Unfortunately. And even though she should have cashed out at Darius McCrary, she couldn't. So, 2011, never married again because she followed the feminist womanist playbook whereby my looks will get me there, my sexual experiences will get me there. No, it won't. And if it does, it won't be for long. There it is. A porn star in all but name. Karine Steffens. She's an author, a New York Times best-selling author, but she traded on her sexual exploits. That's why no men... One man stayed for 2 years. The other men said, "No, I'm good. No, you're out there. You'll get in that box and you stay right there." Finally, let's get to... Because I got to run to the queen of them all, Madonna. Yes. Even white women can get in this book. Madonna Louise Ciccone. The American singer-songwriter actress, widely dubbed the Queen of Pop, Madonna has been noted for her continual reinvention and versatility in the music production, songwriting. She's had a wonderful career. The only thing about it with Madonna is her sexual exploits were considered legendary. Legendary. to a point where, yes, she had 2 kids for a boyfriend, but she never married. No man would stay in her life. Again, lots of boyfriends, can't find a husband. Can't pair bond. Doesn't want to be pair bond. But she'll key that out. Oh, she did have a few spouses, of course. I'm sorry. My apologies. Guy Ritchie and Sean Penn. My apologies. I'm wrong. I'll give that. Yes. But 2 spouses, 2 divorces. But she has had such a lengthy career that, I mean, such a lengthy time, and again, her success kept things in private for a certain amount of time, but her reputation was out there, and after a while, she couldn't pair bond, and then she had to move on. I mean, she was married twice for a few years there, but she couldn't pair bond. Full House dude. There you go. Oh, who's that? Was that Full House dude? Was that with Kareen Steffens? I don't think it was Kareen Steffens. Do let me know who the Full House dude was married to. Just do let me know. Do let me know. So there's another lady who had a very, very sexual life. And again, unfortunately, and it was a very lengthy and again, seriously successful career. However, she still trades on her sexual energy to this day, and men would rather not, especially high value men, would rather not deal with her. To a point, I mean, her 2, again, Sean Penn is when she was hot. That's when she dealt with high value men, but after that, no. They were done. But the 2 great examples are indeed Kareen Steffens and Amber Rose. Kareen Steffens was with the first Full House dude. Okay, well there you go. She was with the Full House dude. Is that who she was married to? Is that the Full House dude? Let me see here. And that was the Darius McCrary. Yes, okay, that's the Full House dude. Yes, indeed, you're right. That was Darius McCrary. That's why I knew the name. But even then, she should have cashed out then, but she couldn't because she couldn't pair bond. She's had so many D's in her life. She doesn't want. She can't stay with one individual because she's had so many sexual exploits that it's impossible. But most men aren't like these women. I mean, most women aren't like these women. They aren't. They usually stay alone. They've gained. I mean, Amber Rose gained a little notoriety. She was married herself. She should have cashed out. She never did. And now you can't be wiped again. She's 39. Same with Kareen Steffens. Kareen Steffens is now it's 78, so 44. She can't have kids. She had her one. That was it. Done. Amber Rose messed up Terrence Ross. There you go. Messed up Terrence Ross. Yes, indeed. Jeez, she did. But is it surprising? No, it's not. So we're left here with the idea of Brittany Renner. Brittany. Let me bring Brittany into focus here. Brittany Renner. There she is. Internet personality Brittany. Who, again, she's done movies, commercials, and such. And, she's had her book, Judge This Cover. And, she has made a name for herself, quite simply. Following Kareen Steffens, Amber Rose, et al. Madonna playbook. But the fact of the matter is, she now has a son, and she now has a secular reputation where it's going to be very, very, and she still has this idea that she could still marry a high value man, baller / entertainer. She still has that idea. The fact of the matter is, that's a 1 in a billion opportunity. Even if she did get married, the fact of the matter is, She won't stay long because she's had so many D's in her life. She's had so many kicks at the can that she can't pay, that she can't pair bond. She can't. And though and therefore, she's relegated to that life of a porn star, guys. Unfortunately. If she gets lucky, all the power to her. But again, the similarity between porn stars and these women is the fact that they've had so many men in their lives. They've had so many. They've been on so many sexual escapades in their lives. They can't pair bond. They can't find just the one guy who will satisfy them or be their husband and keep them in the status in which they wish, in which they want. They can't find them. And that's where we are today. So are we to feel pity on Brittany? No, Brittany wanted this life. Don't feel any pity for Brittany. Brittany wanted this life. She was not going back to Earl Springs, Mississippi. She wasn't going to do it. Her obligation was to sleep her way to whatever level, to the highest level she could, find a man, try to marry him. The fact of the matter is the one man read the whole fact, and there it was. Now, maybe she will be able to have the opportunities that Amber Rose and opportunities and marriage that Amber Rose and Karine Steffens had, but they won't last for long, really, because she can't. No man can satisfy her. She likes different things from different men, and sooner or later she'll get tired of them and such. Cool G Rap made Karine famous with Superhead name. That's it. There you go. It was Cool G Rap. Indeed. Well said there, King Elton. Yes, but that's the future that lies for Brittany Renner. That of Amber Rose. That of Karine Steffens. That's the life she will lead. And she is only going to trade on her sexual exploits, and she'll do what Amber Rose and Karine Steffens did, and try to empower sexual expression and sexual freedom as a thing that women should aspire to. But again, men never signed up for it. Never did. Never, ever did. And the fact of the matter is, she's going to find a very, very hard time finding a man, and one that she finds attractive and one that she wants to settle down with, because she's had so many D's in her life, because she's had all these sexual experiences, and quite simply, as pretty as she is, maybe a guy would want her on their arm, but most men won't. They won't. They just won't. So it's a mutually exclusive thing. And the men that she won't want her, and the men who want her, she won't want. So she's in that middle, in that void, that she'll find a rare occasion. She better take that. She better take it, because quite simply, it may be the only shot she has. The only shot. We're going to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube, and this discussion on how Brittany Renner has been relegated to the life of a porn star. And she's only been allowed to trade on her sexual experiences in order to survive. Because now she's in survival mode, as is Karine Steffens, as is Amber Rose. Now, again, there are certain guys who may take a chance on her, but most guys won't. She won't have the 4 Ps. She'll have to build a community in order to do it. Remember the 4 Ps. Where are those 4 Ps? There we are. Remember the 4 Ps. She won't have the protection, provision, procreation, and problem solving of a man. She won't have it. It'll have to come from a group. And that ain't fun, ladies. You don't want to be there. You'll be like Amber herself. I mean, like Amber, like Karen, and now like Brittany, where all men want from you is sex and what you can provide them, because that's what you traded on. That's what you prided yourself on, because you didn't. It's nice if you had any talent, relatively, but that is the life of a modern woman. That's the life of a 304. That's the life of a city girl, and that's who that's who I fear for. I fear for the lives of the ladies who won't get to this level because their consequences are way more dire. Brittany is a P specialist. Absolutely, she is. Yes, you're right, King Olin. You're right. You're right. And it'll be a fine day if she can find a P specialist to her liking. Thank you for joining me on Talk Talk live on IG and YouTube. We'll be back next week. I would like to wish everyone who is in view of the show a Merry Christmas, a Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holiday Seasons greetings to you and yours. I'm going to be taking off for a few days here from the show, again, to enjoy the holidays. Let's face facts. I'll be back next week. I hope you have a great time with your friends and family. And again, I wish you well. Let's go back to my full cam. I wish you well for the holiday season. I hope you get what you want. I hope you finish your Christmas shopping. Do so. And if you're in Toronto tonight, which is where the show is coming from, if you're in Toronto, you better get it done quick, because tomorrow is going to be a storm's coming. A storm is coming. A storm is coming, and it ain't going to be pretty from all accounts. And please, get to that shopping, because after tomorrow, Saturday's Christmas Eve. 1 day left of shopping, guys. 1 day left. So hopefully you got all your Christmas shopping done. Hopefully you got all your Kwanzaa and Hanukkah shopping done. Or if you don't celebrate any of these things, I hope you enjoy your holidays. And I look forward to speaking to you and seeing you next week on Talk Talk Live. On IG and YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. We're soon moving to TikTok. Help me to 1,000 subscribers. Sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. DUNTALK.com. Fall Winter Line out now. So, thank you very much. Merry Christmas. And we'll see you next week for the last line of shows for 2022, with 2023 being a very big year for Talk Talk Live. Thank you very much. And we'll speak to you soon. Peace!